questions to ask throughout a campaign with the confidence rising. I told WDF don't switch, good times are coming on even deep diving. Bandcam's reactions, watch along, still the pride of London thriving. The Eagles of South, they flying. Keep your eyes on us, we ain't hiding.
Yes, guys, welcome back to Eagle Eye Football. This is a bit of a madness. We ain't done this in 3 weeks, 2 weeks. I feel like it's a bit of.
This break's been mad.
As Nicky said before stream, what did you say, mate?
I said I used a wrestling technical term. I said there's a bit of ring rust. It's a wrestling technical term.
Yep, and
it's like pitch rust.
He said a wrestling technical term. With no wrestling context whatsoever, so it's a big pause. Anyway,
it's not a big pause.
We haven't done this in a long, man, and we don't talk about football very much anymore unless it's on a short. So, big up. I hope you're enjoying this stream so far, even though we haven't said anything or done anything yet. But two things today. We weren't going to talk about kits at all, but because it happened today, we've got to talk about it today. So that's one thing. But what we was actually trying to do is talk about our players on international duties, and what we think will happen. Like, do you think they'll get much minutes? Like, do you think they'll have a good tournament, a bad tournament? We'll just talk about it. First off, Rich, how's it going, man?
I'm good. I've been mad busy, crazy busy. But it's good to be back, actually. Just to do something. Like, I just feel lost without the community, So that's good. And then obviously tomorrow we've got another one. And then we've got the boxing on Saturday, the stag as well on Sunday, which is going to be just jokes. So there's lots to look forward to over the summer. We're going to really try and keep you entertained. But I'm good, guys.
Nicky, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Yeah, I think since the last stream I was on, new job. So been very, very busy lately. Yeah, just happy to be back. It's weird having like such a long break between streams. Like this 3 weeks, it's been like, huh? I've been so lost without regular Eagle Eye content.
100%. And this is why we're trying to get these shorts out to each and every one of you, man, so that you don't think, oh, where are you guys? So I will apologize if it feels repetitive. I'm sorry. But we'll just keep bringing the news. Even if it's complete and absolute nonsense, we'll just keep bringing that to you.
Yeah, and even if it is repeat news, because I know me personally, I've spoken about Eze 3 times already. So I apologize, but we just want to try. Like, I know you guys can go see the news on your own. There's many people out there, like the Palace Way, other people, Drizzy, them man. If you want to get the news faster, go see them, man, because we are just trying to get that news to a bigger audience, basically, because those are the guys that do most of the hard work all for us, and we just want to get the news out there for you guys. But let's start off with the kits. Before we showed it on screen, thoughts on the kit. Rich, are you going to buy it, or is it going to be a miss this year?
I am going to buy it. I just don't know. I haven't yet decided whether or not I'm going to buy it with this sponsor. That's the only thing that I'm wrestling with at the moment. Because obviously I know, like, the Premier League in general have this massive push to try and get rid of supposed gambling sponsors. I'm sure there's meant to be a blanket ban from
next season.
It might be next season, though, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So it seems a bit like, why would you then decide to have this sponsor for a year? I don't know. So, but let's talk about the actual kit design in itself. Mm-hmm. I like it. The top. I like the top. The shorts, I'm not feeling it. It's a bit too much. I think it should have just been plain blue. But I think it's a really nice top. It kind of brings us back to the kind of scribble kit we had a couple of seasons back. It's really nice. I'm happy with it. I will be purchasing one.
Yeah, definitely. I think some people delved into the sponsor a little bit more, and it's It had like no followers at all. It was a brand new Twitter account,
Yeah.
brand new social
Some
media account.
CEO that was dead or something.
Yeah, some CEO that was dead. It was made by like some TikTok influencer from Vietnam, I think. They had like lewd anime girls all over their website. I think they had like illegal cockfighting. And I'm saying that as the chickens, like them man fighting, not the madness that you dirty people are thinking about. But the sponsor's awful, and it's a disgrace, really, especially having this season as being one of the biggest seasons to look forward to, having that on the shirt. This is going to be a shirt that if we have a good season, loads of people are going to remember, and they're going to remember that awful sponsor, and that's just unfortunate.
I
Nicky,
think at the
are you
same
going to be
time,
buying
though,
it? Oh, sorry.
so I was just saying, at the same time, I think if we do have a good season, I think the sponsor will be forgotten about very
Yeah.
quickly.
To be fair, it's it's white writing. Cinch was white writing, and it just disappeared.
It does look nice on the kit. I won't lie. It's just why a gambling one. That's anyway. Sorry,
why did we let go of Cinch? Because Cinch will look sick on that kit.
Yeah.
Nicky, are you buying this shirt?
I am going to buy the shirt. I am probably going to wait until the away kit comes out as well. Just decide, all right, which way am I going to go in terms of the kit? But yeah, I like it. As Rich has pretty much said everything that I wanted to say really about the kit. Unfortunately, I think this blanket ban of gambling sponsors is actually not next season, because we've signed a 2-season deal with these guys. They're going to be on the kits for this season upcoming and the season after. So this is
how's that going to
Yeah.
work? The Premier League are literally having a blanket ban of betting companies from next season. as well.
I've got no clue, honestly, but I think yeah, in terms of kit sponsors, yeah, it's not great. I mean, yes, it white writing on a kit does look it looks good on a Palace kit, but yeah, but the design though, I like it. We haven't had bad kits for a while. I've not necessarily disagreed with any
That's
kits
the point, actually.
in a long time.
We've cooked with our kits ever since the diagonal shirts. I think from then to now, that's 4 years. We've cooked pretty well with our home
we
kits.
certainly have.
I'm sick, as you said, you're waiting for the away kit. I'm praying for a yellow away kit, I have to say.
Yes.
I'm praying for a yellow one. We haven't had a yellow kit in 2 years now. So, and the last yellow kit we had was pretty dreadful.
Yeah, I want the light yellow blue short, like bright blue shorts. Yeah. We're going for that old style kit that we had.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to what the other kits are going to hold. Thank you everyone for commenting. I really appreciate it. There's a lot of comments, just like Tactical yesterday, so we probably won't go through all of them. But clock my mind here. Hopefully they'll be announced for the away shirt. Apparently these guys are done, but they're just waiting their media day. So I'm guessing
just medias, yeah.
They'll probably will announce it with the away kit or the third shirt. It doesn't really matter to me.
And just so everyone knows, if they did it, tomorrow is actually the official day the transfer window opens.
That's what I was about to say. I think we're waiting. I think we'll probably wait. I have a theory that we're announcing them after the England game on Sunday, because the club wants to really focus on our 4 lads in the England team and Joachim obviously in Denmark.
An opportunity to announce it before then, because they're not playing tomorrow.
No,
are any of them playing on Saturday?
The lineup's not out, obviously.
I mean Denmark. Because
Denmark.
Sunday.
I shall check that just really quickly, but
you'll probably see a lot of free transfers happening between now and July 1st, because this is the time when you want to sign people as their contracts are just running out. So pre-contracts and stuff are going to fly around all over the place. I think even was it Lloyd Kelly from Bournemouth to Newcastle happened as well. So free transfers are going to start flying around. So don't you guys worry about that. Before we move on, I still haven't shown you the actual kit. So let me show you now. So sleeve, badge. Back of the shirt actually looks really nice. I quite like this.
Yeah. I really like the 100 Years of Celeste.
It all goes wrong here. Bro just hit copy paste and spammed it all over the shorts, so I'm
Do you
never
know-
buying those.
They look like beach shorts.
Yeah, I think
Wait,
someone on Twitter said, "Oh, I lost these when I was 8 years old in Cyprus swimming pool or something like that."
All the Bear has just All the Bear said someone take the New Balance kit to Hawaii, and
Yeah.
then Mitch, what I thought on Reddit, someone said the new kit looks like a Weatherspoon's carpet, and I can't unsee it.
You never know; it could be the carpet in the Right and Bright bar next year. But this image here makes the shirt look beautiful. The collar is nice. The little
Yeah.
V thing at the front is nice. Even the bottom's
Mhm.
got like a nice collar around it. Cuffed arms. It looks proper. But it does look different in every single type of lighting or background, because with the sort of red beigeish color, it looks nice. With a blue background, it stands out. It's really bright and vibrant.
That looks so nice. It looks as if there's more blue in this.
And
It
then
looks really-
and then if you look at the darker background, the red sort of just starts to accent it a little bit better, and the kit just the top looks amazing from all angles, really.
Yeah.
I didn't choose both pictures as Michael Elise on accident. There is news with this. There's a lot of it.
Oh,
He was in
A
this
lot.
video and he said certain things. This is the start of a new era. I think he said, "Rain or shine, we will be there," and he was literally the next clip after that. So I don't want to read into it too much, but I am reading into it too much because I'm hopeful for the best. But with all this news of Chelsea wanting him, joke man thing, but then Bayern Munich and Man City coming in, the proper clubs are here, so that's probably that.
Yeah.
And then also
As well
the
as
fact
Man
that-
United, Newcastle.
yeah. And then also
Yeah.
the fact that Sule is apparently progressing decently quickly. That's probably what's happening. Michael goes, Sule comes in. That's probably what's happening
Yeah.
at the moment. But I would like to.
West Ham actually linked as well with Sule? Was it just copy and paste as they usually do?
They tried to copy us with France or whoever this Brazilian kid is that they've just bought. Let's be real. So, we'll see how that goes. But Elise, apparently the clause can only be activated by a club in the Champions League. So Chelsea are out of the question there, if that's the case.
Yeah.
But
I think
there's
they
a
have
lot
to
of
pay
news-
more. They have to pay more, don't they?
There's a lot of news going around. So what I'm saying is probably nonsense. But, it's a madness. We just need to talk about it. If it's going to happen, just let it happen. If it's not, then let's just confirm that he's staying or something, just to keep everyone at peace of mind. And also so that Glasner can actually chill out and say, look, okay, this is the team I've got to work with, rather than being held in lieu, really, for what's actually happening next season. But I think that's all for the kit. That's all for, the quick roundup of news. We've got 8 players on international duty. That is a high for the whole time in the Premier League. No, this is probably ever, actually. When was the last time we had 8 players playing for their national team at one time?
never has happened.
No idea.
Never has happened.
And also, we are the team that have got the most players in the England squad as well, which is a first as well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, you hate to see big club bias, but what
Yeah.
can you do?
Yeah, but you know what everyone on social media is saying? Oh, it's only that because he's ex-Palace. No, we deserve to be there. Our players deserve to be there.
Agreed.
If we're talking about England, we might as well talk about them first, innit? So, Eze, Mark, Henderson, and Adam Wharton have all made it into the England squad. Let's go from right to left. Adam Wharton, do you think he's going to get much game time? Or do you think he'll be someone that starts next to Rice, even though I know all of our opinions on it? Do you think he will start again next to Rice, or do you think he'll be a bit part player to come on to replace Trent? Because that's probably what's going to happen in midfield.
You know what's mad? I don't even think he's going to start Trent. I think he's going to go Rice, Gallagher, Bellingham. Or if he does decide to go Rice, Bellingham, Foden, then Eze might start left wing.
It'll be Gordon.
All Gordon, yeah. But with Adam, I think he's going to be utilized in games where we might be chasing it, because he's one of the only players that once he gets the ball, he can think fast and pass the ball forwards. Which is a shame, because that might mean he's only getting sparing minutes like in the knockout stages, or if, like, let's say England get 6 points in the first 2 games, they're all but through, then he may start the third game, sort of thing. Look, I'm just happy he's been recognised, and
But
for
I
someone to
do
get
think,
recognised in a 6-month spell shows how quality he's been.
yeah, because I don't know about you, Nicky, but I think for the system that Southgate plays, I do think that he's the perfect person to partner Rice, because Rice loves to run forwards with the ball and get
Yeah.
involved at the top of the pitch, whereas Adam Wharton, he can just sit back and chill and do the easy
Yeah.
passes, and that's something that England just don't really have. And also Trent just trying, from a few games that he's played in the friendlies, for me in midfield, he just seems to overdo it, and he just seems a lot more comfortable at right back.
Yeah, I don't see Trent starting, honestly. I think it will be a midfield 3 of Rice, Gallagher, and Foden, allowing more choice for the left, allowing Gordon and Eze into the squad. As for Wharton, I think he will be used primarily as the super sub. He'll be that if one of those 3 is floundering or needs a bit, or just needs a bit of game time to come off. You've got Wharton, who's fresh and ready, definitely looking to impress. Obviously, because this is his first major tournament in the senior setup, and to be called up instantly is a huge honor. And I think he has certainly, inside the media, he has certainly said that, look, I'm here, and he knows, he's aware that obviously there are players that that he won't get ahead of instantly. So in terms of if England get through straight away, 2 wins out of the 3, bosh, there we go. He might even play the third game. I think it all just depends on how well the fitness levels of the England midfield can go, because this team has got a plethora of central midfielders to choose from. And so Southgate really has a selection issue on his hands. Wharton, I think, is probably down the list ever so slightly, but it would be exciting. It would be immense to see him, flying onto the pitch.
Absolutely. I just think, like, as a footballing player centre mid, of all the ones that we have there, apart from Bellingham's the only other one I think that passes the ball forward with pace. Rice is more, he'll drive with the ball. Conor Gallagher just runs.
Cardio merchant. Well, we know that from his time at Palace. He can't pass.
Kobe Mainu, he's got a decent range of passing, but I don't think he's as quick as Wharton. Like,
I don't think he fits. I think Kobe's sick, but he doesn't fit Southgate's system. Southgate needs someone that can just recycle the ball, whereas Kobe would like to drive forwards as well and then pick a killer pass rather than just do the easy passes.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
But I do think that brings up another point where, as Nicky said, where's the big club bias? If anything, there probably should have been another Palace player there as well, because how the hell is there still no left back there and you've taken an injured Luke Shaw? Like, obviously we're sitting here saying Mitchell, but even like Livramento, Lewis Hall, something, a left back at least. But no, we've chosen an injured Donny, and now we're going to play a right back at left back. It's just not going to work.
Trippier's going to be found out and bad.
I mean, I've got a rogue shout, but I think just by watching what we've done in the friendlies, I think that Trent should start at right back.
I don't think he can escape that. He might need to stay muted. That was crazy.
Yowza.
What
Okay.
happened?
So let's move on to Dean. Let's move on to Dean Henderson. Quick question, and the chat, you can answer this as well. Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
would Dean Henderson have made the plane if Sam Johnston wasn't injured?
Yes. I think Southgate would have chosen both Johnston and Henderson. But then again, England have certainly got a brand new crop of goalkeepers coming in. You've got Pickford, who pretty much is a shoo-in anyway. You've got James Trafford, Dean Henderson, Nick Pope, Sam Johnston. Gosh, God, who else? Ramsdale.
Trafford, he selected as well, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean,
In the
Trafford, who's
professional.
Trafford, who's now, has impressed so much that he's now on his way to Newcastle. So I think this England squad must have been very, very difficult to choose from, because the English crop of players from the Premier League alone this season have done extremely well, mostly because, there's something to play for. You want to be selected for the major tournament. But yeah, I think Henderson would have gone with Johnston if, injuries didn't play a factor. But then if you look at Pope as well, it just becomes too much of a selection issue.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think he's deserved his place. He ended the season really well with us,
Mm-hmm.
to be honest. My big question, and I've always had a question about Pickford, but why is he still number one?
I think it's in terms of his command of the area. He communicates. He knows the setup. He knows what's expected of him. He's been in that number one position for so long that he knows that Southgate relies on him, and he steps up. I mean, we saw it across the World Cup. Very, very few mistakes from what I can recall. And we see it during his playing time with Everton. He commands his box, I think, better than most goalkeepers.
Yeah, I mean, look, we've also got to make sure that we caveat that with the fact that, generally speaking, England's teams in the group stage are never really that difficult.
Yeah.
Which I've started to think is becoming more of a hindrance, because obviously when they hit the later stages, it's difficult to then all of a sudden turn it up for a bigger side. But yeah, credit to Hendo.
I mean, the fact is that Denmark posed the biggest threat to England throughout the group stage. All four teams of Group C play on the Sunday, but Slovenia, Denmark, and Serbia, out of those three, really you're thinking the Danish team are going to have the most things to say, but then Slovenia and Serbia are going to think, hang on, let's not joke about here. We could be on for a surprise.
Yeah, and obviously in the friendly Iceland, they set the template. It's like, all right, bet we're just going to sit deep and counter. JC, I was asking Nikki whether or not Henderson would have made the flight had Sam Johnston still been fit.
I think it really depends on who out of the two got more game time, really. I think that if they were both fit, both ready to go, I think Johnstone goes over Henderson. But if they've both been playing well, I think that potentially they both get above Ramsdale. But I do think that then again, if there's a fit Nick Pope, he'll probably push Henderson out. And I think if you're looking at England goalkeepers, granted, Pickford, I would say, is not the best goalkeeper in the world because he does have the tendency to drop a clanger every so often for Everton. And I want to specify for Everton because he hasn't put a foot wrong in an England shirt. Touch wood. So, I don't think you can blame Southgate for picking Pickford and choosing him as a number one, because like he's done it with players like Maguire. Like I would say some people are actually potentially a little bit upset that Maguire's not actually going, because we know that he's reliable in an England shirt. Whether he might be rubbish for Man United, he's still reliable in an England shirt, and that's what all that matters when England are playing. And I know that's a very Michael Owen kind of statement because it's the obvious, but it's true. Southgate's favourites, sometimes they're not always wrong, and I'd say that. But then again, because he has favourites, people like Tomori, who probably deserve to be there, won't be there, let's say. But
Sorry, I'll try that again since I'm now off mute.
No, it's loud thinking, is he talking off camera, or does he realize he's muted again?
I was just going to say Maguire is not selected because of his injury. He is
yeah.
And stuff. Animal had a good question here, though. How about this partnership? Well, John Stones is fit. It's been confirmed he's fit. He's training, so it will be Stones and Gray.
Mm-hmm. I want to shed a bit more light on not picking Bramthwaite. It's crazy. Over this, brother.
How dunk?
You say more experience. Experience in what? He's never played for England.
And when he has, he's made 2 mistakes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I seem to remember a certain Belgian striker making it like an idiot in an England shirt in a friendly, no? What's his name? Oh, and in a Brighton shirt. Oh, what's his name? Lukaku. Twice. So.
And he also helped assist Endrick.
Oh, own goal, bruv. What an assist. That's all I'll say. Yeah. Who is next in line? Mark. Well, we sort of started talking about him anyway. He's going to start next to Stones. There's a shout for Konsa there. Next to him, maybe. I mean, next to Stones, maybe. But I think Konsa's going to be utilised as like right back cover, maybe left back cover.
Yeah.
Because he can play it all across the back line, can't he? So he'll just be that guy that if anyone gets injured there, he'll slot in. And that's a perfect squad player when you're talking about Konsa. But Mark will start. Granted, he's just come back from injury, but Southgate's been to Palace many, many times and watched him drop blinder after blinder. So I'm sure that he's got the trust in him and he knows what he can offer. The only thing is how is Stones going to play with Mark next to him, because he's very used to playing with Maguire. He's used to having a strong physical presence there. Someone that's like 6'4", but now he's going to go from a really tall centre back, a really tall and strong centre back, to a shorter and faster centre back. So that adjustment's going to probably take a few games, but I'm sure.
You know why I think they're going to be fine? Because both like to carry the ball out from the back.
Yeah.
So, and they're both going to be suited to just sitting. So they'll just do that if need to. If they want to overload the midfield, which then would save Trippier the job of not having to do this inverted nonsense, because he tried to invert and then he tried to overlap and he could not get back. Like the counter attacking was crazy.
He's too old for that kind of play style, to be fair. But then again, I think he's the same age as Munoz, isn't he? Or is Munoz younger? I think Munoz might be a few years younger, actually. But
Munoz is a little bit younger than Trips. Yeah.
But still, Munoz is just an animal. He doesn't stop running.
Cardio merchant.
Yeah, but in the good kind.
In the best kind, yeah.
And finally, probably the player that will probably get the most game time out of all the Palace players, Eze.
Who I think should start. I think he starts. I think he's the shoe-in on that left-hand side. I
think he
don't get me wrong, and Anthony Gordon is a talent, and I think he would enhance any team, especially in terms of the international. But when you look at the numbers that Eze posted up in this season, Eze is the first name on that team sheet for me. I think you can't not look at that left hand side and think who am I going to be putting in there when you have Ebere Eze?
What about Foden? And I'm just assuming.
I'd say Foden's he's in the middle three.
I would do that too, but let's just hypothetically say that Conor Gallagher starts because Southgate likes him.
Oh yeah.
Then Foden will be playing on the left hand side.
Then I reckon we could see Eze moved as a sub for the midfield three instead. Probably to replace Jude, most likely.
Yeah.
Because we know how versatile Eze is.
I don't think Eze will start, no matter, even though he's as good as he is and as good as he's shown in the preseason, not the preseason games, in the friendly games. I don't think that he's got that kind of clout on his name like Phil Foden does at the moment. And Phil Foden's played most of the season on the left for Man City, and he's been very successful with it. So I'm sure that he's just going to rehash it again. And if you're looking at it on paper, as any probably neutral fan would probably agree, would probably say, they'd probably rather a front three of Foden, Saka, and Kane rather than Eze, Saka, and Kane. And that's just as a normal fan. That's not a Palace fan, let's say. But even though we know that Eze can thrive out of position, and Foden, to my knowledge, I can't remember him having a very good game in an England shirt off the top of my head. I don't know if you guys can. But even though
okay games, but he's obviously definitely been better for City.
He's had okay games, but has he been a standout like what Eze was in his debut? That's what I would say. Or not his debut, but his first start. And I'd say the impression of that and the fact that Eze can unlock a low block, and that's the kind of group that we're in. These teams are going to be playing low blocks against us, and Eze can unlock that because of his ability to carry the ball and etc. So I think Eze won't start, but he will definitely get a lot of minutes because of rotation with Foden or rotation with someone like maybe Conor Gallagher goes off, Bellingham drops back a little bit, not into DM because he's not a DM. Bellingham drops back a little bit, Eze goes in the 10 to try and make something work.
No, absolutely. I think it's all just going to go down to how Southgate actually sets up. So I just see the private message. And this is all down to Southgate. Southgate can turn this England side into a beast, and all he needs to do is just take the handcuffs off and just let them play. Yeah, because even against Iceland, where you can see they've got a low block, what Pep would, and listen, we understand Pep. He's a madman when it comes to football. He's absolutely psycho. But you'll just see Foden on the left. You'll see Doku pop up top. Haaland will drop. Like everyone goes everywhere to just negate this low block. Literally against Iceland, they got the low block, but everyone's still in their exact position. Like you're not gonna break anything down like that. So yeah, it's gonna be all down to Southgate.
That's all the England players. Next up is Joachim Andersen. For Denmark, he does play out of position a little bit. He has played right back for them a few times. Is he their captain this tournament, or is it?
I will have a look.
Or is it thingy again?
I'll have a look for you right now.
Eriksen's Danish, isn't he?
Yeah.
Is he going? Considering what happened last time.
Good question. He played in the last friendly, I believe, against Norway. I believe Eriksen was playing. So I think they will take him anyway, even if it's just sentimental value. Just say, listen, you had what you had last time. This is an opportunity for you to have a prop, because he could probably retire after this, isn't it? So
Eriksen is in the lineup. Yeah, he's in the team.
In their last game, who was their captain? Because I know Anderson played in their last game, didn't they?
It doesn't. I can't actually see who's listed as captain. It usually just lists Simon Kajaya.
What
was the last game?
They played Norway. The captain was. Yeah, you're right. No captain was said. Oh, they play a back three now. Okay, Vestergaard, Christiansen, and Anderson. That's a pretty good defense. To be fair, so they're definitely going to be hard to break down. They've got some good players in there. Højbjerg in front of them as well.
It is Simon Kajaya who will be captain of the Euro 2024 squad.
Okay, so yeah, even if he's not the captain, he's still a leader in that back line.
Yeah.
And we've seen what he does. He can play well in a low block. He can play well in an expansive team. He's more used to playing free at the back now with Glasner's system. And the fact that they've got man on the wing like Olsen and Højlund who can run in behind as well, that's going to be a big threat for England, really, because even when we were doing tactical against Man City, John Stones, you can easily run in behind John Stones. You can't do that as well with Mark Gay, but you can quite easily with John Stones. So, I think Anderson's got a big tournament ahead of him. He's always been one of Denmark's better players historically as well whenever he's played for them. And he's just an unbelievable player, really, isn't he? I think it goes without saying that we know he's going to play well.
Yeah.
Even if they don't get too far in the tournament, he'll still play well.
Yeah, he's certainly one of those ready-made names. When it comes to the Danish selection, he's one of those ready-made names that will just walk in straight into the squad. He's like Højlund, like Schmeichel, like Kajaya, and many, many more. He pretty much will just go straight into that defense because he just knows and is trusted in that Danish setup. I think in terms of the smaller, lesser-known international setups, like your Scandinavian countries and more of your Eastern Bloc countries, you know who's going to be playing a lot because you can just look up a team, see how well they play in like friendlies in the Nations League and such, and the setup's going to be pretty much automatic copy paste in. And Anderson has been in that Danish setup for, I think, even before he joined Palace. I think he was certainly in that Danish setup.
Yeah,
so,
he was when he was at Fulham.
So it goes without saying that Anderson is going to be in that setup for many, many years.
Mm-hmm. That wraps up all the players that are actually going to the Euros, but that also leads us...
Can I just say one last thing about Ando?
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to see how him and Mark play against each other, and I know they're obviously opposite ends of the bench.
Him and Ebbs as well.
I hope Ebbs. That is what I'm hoping for. Ebbs at least plays.
I'm so excited to see it because we've never really been in this situation, have we, guys? Where we've gotten in a major tournament, but never mind friendlies, but in a major tournament, we've never had Palace player versus Palace player. I think Palace TV even went out, to their warm-up camps and actually asked them about, how does it feel to be that? And I think they're all relishing this challenge because it's going to be so interesting to see because there's so much on the line, not in just terms of the group stage.
I think Ebb said that, it's good to play against him because he's a top player and he's my friend, but on that pitch he ain't going to be my friend. So,
which is how it should be.
I think it's going to be a great watch because it'll be interesting to see because Anderson trains against him week in, week out, and also Eze trains against Anderson week in, week out. So they're going to know each other's tricks, and let's see what they can do against each other, really. So it might actually be a really good battle. And who would you hope comes out on top, taking your England bias out of it? Who do you hope wins the battle, or would you rather it be a stalemate?
Can I just go neutral and say stalemate, please?
No, I'm sorry. As an attacker, I want Ebbs to skin your. I'm sorry. I'm an attacker. I'm so the strikers union, the forward line union. Yeah.
I mean, if he skins Yoa, his price tag will go up. To be fair, England taxing that.
Actually, about that, are we saying that pretty much all four? Well, let's say all five of these guys who've now gone, who will be playing and featured, their price tags are going to be way up.
I wouldn't say Anderson goes way up because he's not English, and in England tax is crazy.
That is true. Yeah.
I do think that just getting selected, everyone's eyes are on them, and their price obviously goes up just a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Well, to be fair, we were calling for this when Wardy was playing right back. We was calling for Mark and Richards at centre back, and then Anderson at right back. We were calling for that.
We wanted anything.
We were
Anyone
desperate
but
to get
Wardy.
Wardy gone.
What?
But I think that's enough on England. Moving to two players that probably should have been at the Euros, but they are actually at the Olympics, which is bringing back football, and France are taking it semi-seriously. I think Thierry Henry is the coach, right? Am I right?
Yes.
And he said that the actual France managers had a mare, so I'm going to pick the two players that on form should have been in that tournament, and those are the first two names on that team sheet. And I think that he wanted to pick Saliba, and Arsenal said no, he ain't playing in the Olympics. No way.
I could definitely.
Should we do the same thing for them, or do you think that it's a good thing or the right thing to let them go and play? Because I think it's the right thing to let them go play. Because if they're not going to be selected in the Euros, they need to play in this Olympics and say, "Yo, you man, you're an idiot for not picking me."
I think. Well, we all said it when the France squad was announcing. We didn't see JP's name or Michael's name in that team. We all cussed out Deschamps. Even a lot of people from France are cussing out Deschamps. They don't like his style of play. They don't think that France can progress with this guy. Obviously, there's not a lot of progression you can go on as like from winning Euros and World Cups and what's next after that, obviously. But at the same time, like just as you said, Saliba's not going to get any game time because Deschamps actually said, quoted, I'm going to not exactly misquote him exactly, but he said he does not watch a single minute of the Premier League. That's it.
Bro's the opposite of Southgate. Southgate only watches the Premier League.
Deschamps has never seen a minute of the Premier League. That is why Henry had a go at him. Like it's ridiculous to say that. Oh, I don't watch the world's biggest league. I said in my fan cam on the final game, don't sleep on my number 14 striker. Yeah, he sleeps throughout the 3 o'clock kickoffs. He doesn't watch Soccer Saturday. He doesn't watch Super Sunday, Monday Night Football, Friday Night Football.
Nikki,
he ain't got Sky TV.
Nikki, you've been spending too much time around Will. That's a phrase that Will uses.
I know. Oh, it's an L. It's an L.
That's atrocious from you.
That is atrocious. I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry.
Nikki's a new.
I apologize. Oh no! Whoa! That's not got that far. Whoa! Hey now.
Well, I mean, you've got obviously the Cheetos merchant.
Doritos merchant.
Be the Doritos merchant.
Yes. Yeah.
Nikki, how's your
shadow even happened.
Nikki, how's your shadow boxing?
Oh, and so it begins. Hey.
If Nikki goes to the US, he has to vlog going to Dave's Hot Chicken. He has to.
100%.
But Rich,
anyway, move on.
The Doritos agenda has now started. You are finished.
Mm-hmm.
Going back onto football, Rich, do you agree? Do you agree with what I said? Do you think that we should let them play in the Olympics, or do you think we should follow what Arsenal did with Saliba?
For Elise, I would have said no. For JP, yes, because I don't think Deschamps would have ever picked him, even if he had another good 4 years. Michael's a lot closer to the national team than than JP is. So JP for the Olympics, that's fair. But I'm torn with the Michael one because, listen, granted, we know there's massive rumours about him going. But just the aspect that, number one, he's not going to have another preseason with us. And I'm just basing this if he stays with us, by the way. Number two, he picked up an injury in the last time he played on French duty. And number three, I don't know what times these players are going to come back for preseason. How many games of the start of the next season are they going to miss? So there's so many tangibles. But I hope he does well, though, to be honest. And says, Deschamps, screw you.
Mm-hmm. Big up Santi said, flip sake, there's 2 Dorito colours as well, red and blue.
Not in my background. There's not. There's only just the one.
I actually agree. Tim said that he agreed with these guys as well. But the Olympics is meant to be an amateur sport. Why are professionals playing in it? And
yeah, I think they should.
There's more chance of both of them getting injured at the Olympics and at the Euros. And also, if they do get injured, for me, if they're going to get injured at a competition, you'd rather it be the Euros, not the Olympics.
Exactly.
Yeah, there's a lot more recovery time.
I think what they should do with the Olympics is make it academy football only, and that could be the showcase to whether their club or to other teams to get them out there in the market.
Yeah, because that could be like another like a bigger scale, like Papa John's Trophy, like how all the Premier League teams just put their youth team into it and then hope for the best. So really, if you get the best youth players from each country, then that's probably the best way around, no?
Yeah.
The worst possible thing, in terms of, say, if Elise and Mateta go on, say if they do get injured and everything, the men's gold medal match is not until the 9th of August. That's if France go all the way, you're pretty much ruling out Elise and Mateta for the start of the season. And that's if they don't. That's if I think, players aren't allowed to return to their clubs post Olympics. I'm not sure how the ruling works out for that because
9th of
August is the men's gold medal match.
I'm sure the season starts on the 22nd, doesn't it? Or the week or the 15th.
I will check when the
I think it's only 1 or 2 weeks, so that is dreadful. That means we've got to keep. That means we've got to keep Edouard. No, I'm joking.
Yeah.
Well, even if Edouard's good, we need strikers.
We need a striker.
And to be fair, even in that case, they might actually need Sule, even if Elise stays.
I reckon we can't plan too far ahead because obviously the schedule's not out for the Premier League season. Obviously, we have to wait until the Olympics starts. But yeah, missing the potential of missing Elise and Mateta for the start of the season because Deschamps is an absolute fool and not included them in the Euro squad is crazy to me. I mean, Mateta had the most goals towards the end of the season. He was the most prolific goal scorer in terms of stats. Elise posted up numbers from his return that were incredible. Yeah. It's nice to see that our players are included. Don't get me wrong. Like, to represent your country in any form is still going to be a huge, huge honor. But if you measure up an Olympic gold medal in one hand or winning the Euros on the other, Euros outweighs the Olympics tenfold.
Yeah, and also, it probably won't happen, but it would be very funny if Michael Elise wins the Olympics with France and then sides with England or Algeria or something. That would be funny, isn't it? He'd have a trophy for a different country that he doesn't actually represent in professional football. But I think that's enough on the Olympics. There is another cup competition going on in the Copa America. We've got 2 Colombians and an American. Let's start off with Chris Richards. How do you think his tournament's going to go? Because he looks like he's going to be the starting centre back. Because they have played him at full back sometimes, but we've seen that at club he's not the best at full back. But centre back with the form that he's been on, and even though they lost 4-1, 5-1 against Colombia,
5-1. Yeah,
he didn't actually have that bad of a game. It was all Turner.
He's played. Turner's terrible. He's played well in both the recent friendlies, to be honest to him. And it's good to see him back in the cycle. Remember, he got dropped. He got dropped during Roy's midfield experiment. So yeah, I think he will stand out for the US. And to be fair, I know Tim's in the chat, so I have no idea who your right back is, but I believe was it Richards, Ream, and Robinson? The other three defenders. I don't.
Isn't it Dest who normally plays right back?
I would have said
yes.
yes. Gino Dest
Yes.
is right back.
I forgot about him.
He's always injured. That's why.
Yeah. Which on paper,
it's Joe Scally
okay.
from Mönchengladbach.
Yeah, because that's a decent backline.
I told you. I told you.
Yeah.
It is a decent backline. And sorry, I do need to acknowledge. I hope this way. Sorry, Paul. So he did say hi. Sorry, we've been so into what we're saying. So big up everyone who is here, by the way. I know we've not been putting up the comments as we usually do, but if you've been flying through it, but just want to make sure that we give you the content that you lot deserve. So big up everyone who's inside. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you're new, share it with friends, turn the notification bell, all of that. But as for USA's hopes, considering they're now in a Copa America, you're going to expect them to do okay. But those South American teams are cold. Like the way Bielsa's got Uruguay playing at the moment is mad.
The goal that Nunes scored the other day was crazy.
Didn't Bielsa actually complain in his post-match interview? I think he complained that his team weren't given a big enough challenge and that he didn't like the game because he said, look, we just ran right through these guys. This wasn't a challenge. So Bielsa's cooking.
They're doing a good job. And obviously you've got to look at like Brazil, Argentina. Who else will follow that? I think Colombia, who we're going to discuss in a minute as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to be an interesting tournament and it'll be very difficult for the United States. But hey, I'm just also annoyed that it's coincided with the Euros and the fact that it's like 2 a.m. in the morning as well. That doesn't help.
No, it really doesn't. It's non-stop football all summer. 24/7 football.
We can't complain. All right, big up Kyle. He's going to watch USA versus you. Oh, that's going to be cold.
Yeah, big up.
Yeah, I agree. The way Nunes plays for Uruguay as opposed to how he plays for Liverpool. And you know what's mad? We were slandering Noodles all year. His GA weren't that bad. It weren't that bad for Liverpool. It's just he missed too many chances. You know?
Yeah. His missed chances certainly were provided a lot of meme content, but when he scores, you know about it.
100%. 100%. JC, are we good to cover the last nation?
Yeah, so that was America, and then finally Colombia, where we have got 2 Crystal Palace players playing in the same team at the same time, Munoz and Lerma. Both of them are starting players as well, which is good, and that team is cooking. They haven't got any superstars, no standouts. It just seems to be a team of everyone that just seems to get involved, and they just seem to play extremely well, innit? Like James Rodriguez in that Colombia shirt.
He's a different player, isn't he?
He's a different animal.
He is a different animal.
I actually forgot he was around.
Yeah, I thought he actually retired after leaving Everton. I thought he actually genuinely did retire.
I think he's in Saudi now, but he's still cooking on the international
Doesn't
stage.
surprise me. But there are a lot of players that play more for their flag rather than their club badge.
Yeah, I think a prime example of that is someone like Wanyama. He only went to Spurs because he had a good World Cup.
Yeah, that's true.
And then he got to Spurs, and then he was just known as some guy that lifts weights in the gym. Genuinely, the only thing I remember Wanyama for is him being dreadful for Spurs, having a good World Cup, and having literally a deadlift off against Akin Fenwa. That's literally the only thing I remember.
It's true.
And also Akin Fenwa bodying him in the cup. So, like that, I think he is the epitome of like playing for your country, I guess, curse or whatever you want to call it.
There you go.
But Lerma and Munoz, they link up so well on that Palace pitch, and it just seems to translate into Colombia as well. But instead of just linking up with each other, they seem to link up with the whole pitch.
It's so crazy to think that in terms of just Palace alone, that we have such a great selection of midfielders. Talking about Decore, Lerma, Wharton, Eze, if and when he's needed from that in that position. But Lerma is. We all agree that he should have been named Player of the Season for the end of season awards. We do, right? I want to make sure I'm not just dropping myself in that.
No, 100%.
Okay. No, knowing Nathan, he'll probably disagree with me, but yeah, I think Lerma was absolutely fantastic across the whole season. He definitely deserves his international call up, and as JC you said, the link up play is insane. But I think we've always seen that from South American teams, that their link up play, the passing is absolutely incredible.
It is. And Colombia are one of those teams where I think personally they'll be disappointed to have not won the Copa. You know.
I am so looking forward to Sunday. I am so looking forward to Sunday.
What are you gonna do to me on Sunday? Are you gonna try and fight me in the boxing?
I think you need. We don't advocate for violence, but yeah, Nikki, I think you need to give
Or
him an elbow.
EF scrap, yeah.
I don't want to step on him. I don't want to step on him. I wouldn't want to step on him.
There you go. Oh man, but yeah, Colombia are going to be a very good outfit. To be fair.
And even then, we haven't even spoken about Luis Diaz. Like, he's an incredible winger as well. He's also playing for Colombia.
He is. And obviously, we know Brazil's going to be the team to beat, so that'll be very, very interesting. Yeah, I just want to say massive shout out to Jordan Ayew, by the way. As a Ghanaian myself.
Yeah,
you know,
Patrick
four goals
in 2 games.
4 goals in 2 games, including a hat-trick against Central African Republic, which puts us top of our qualifying group as it stands, I think, on goal difference. So yeah, it's like World Cup qualification is on the right track, but we've got a lot of work to do.
This brings me onto a question that I've wanted to ask you, Rich, especially on stream. The news is, I don't know if this was confirmed or not, by like the relevant authorities, is the AFCON postponed?
Yep.
Bullshit. Sorry, I swore. I don't. It's 9:00.
Watershed on the nose.
I had to say.
He has been waiting. And honestly, can I be completely honest with you, Nikki? This is why African nations don't get anywhere. We already have to fight the uphill battle of being just better, like with regards to resources and stuff. But the corrupt nature of the African federations and even the federations for each individual country in itself is a joke. How on
Yeah.
earth are we going to have an AFCON tournament the same year as a World Cup? It is stupid. So I don't want to start. Please.
The international scheduling, in especially in terms of when you've got all your domestic league scheduling, I think Talksport said it. I think it's up to 2028. There is now football competition for all 12 months of each year, all the way up to 2028. So, yeah, when you've got Euros, World Cup, AFCON, domestic leagues, Nations League, and of course, with your other relevant competitions, it is non-stop football.
Do you know what's going to happen in that year, in 2026? Clubs are going to refuse players going to AFCON.
Yeah. I mean,
because
we can certainly say that
2 tournaments in 1 year, potentially. Like, okay, you got your 38 game season on average, plus the relevant cups that you're in. Some players are then going to have to play potentially 7 games in AFCON, 7 to 8 games in AFCON, plus a World Cup that year, which I believe they'll probably look to increase it to. Well, is it not like a 40 something team tournament, 48? Which means more games.
They want to increase pretty much both competitions.
It's such a stupid decision from CAF. Dumb decision. Keep it to next January and keep the 2026 January, keep that free. There's actually nothing happening in 2025, tournaments-wise, I believe. I don't think there's anything happening.
No,
just leave it there. It's just... sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're also facing the risk that players are going to speak out and just going to be like, hey, we're going to burn out because, the players aren't used to a 12-month schedule. They are used to this summer, or in terms of locale, winter break, especially when it comes to certain countries like Ireland, for example. We play certainly January up until the end of the season. Our season starts January, not August. I think we're facing players are going to burn out, and obviously, we wanted to see Decore and many others go represent their country, and they're just going to be like, "Oh, hang on, what do we prioritize?" A lot of countries are going to talk and be like, "What do we prioritize?" This is it,
and I think there's even like what Real Madrid have refused to go to the Club World Cup as well, but they've changed. Is it something to do with money? I believe it's 20 million in total that they're trying to offer clubs. And Real Madrid are like, listen, we're 15 times Champions League holders. You're only going to offer us 20 million. We need 20 million for each game or something along those lines. But FIFA, UEFA, they're all corrupt and stupid, and they don't care about the fans. They don't care about the teams. They just care about money. That's all it is. So, and Nicky's gone. Look at his face. Hold on. Everyone screenshot this.
Yeah, look, Nippon Con Nikki.
Yeah, screenshot this and post it on.
Not me.
Oh boy.
But to be fair, his internet died just as we were rounding out anyway. So, Rich, anything else you want to add before we wrap up?
No, listen, all the best to all the players in obviously their respective tournaments, and just don't come back injured. That is all.
Yeah, hope Elise stays, and come on England.
Yeah, and buy the new top kit, the top, not the shorts. Are you doing a shopping channel, by the way?
Yeah, so over here we've got an air purifier. Over here we've got some Easter eggs that I need to throw in the bin. Over here we've got jewelry and makeup and stuff. And over here is, see you later, up the palace.
He goes.
Amigos. I'm trying to find the outro.